There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. Here I am with another tag. And because I am the goddess of BookTube, I don't need to be tagged by people to do tags. I just see tags that interest me and I do them. It's quite dictatorial in that way. And this is a tag that just went up a day or two ago from Sandy, the wonderful Sandy of Ms. Reads a Lot, who has read 901 books in the last 30 days. So she's made a tag called the 901 books tag. I'm completely botching the reason for her doing this tag, but that's because I want you to go and watch her original tag video and find out the truth, all right? Congratulations, Sandy. 901 books in 3 days. It's very impressive. It's a great tag. I love the first prompt in particular because it's asking you to do a little bit of a memory dig, and I have not prepped for this. Telling you the absolute truth, I have not prepped for this. The first one is 901 books. Name as quickly as possible. The last 9 books that you read, and this should be from memory. And I've had a few drinks. I think that the books that I finished last week, oh goodness, I don't know, how many did I finish last week? I finished The Valley of the Birdtail. I don't remember the authors, the two, Sanderson and something, which was excellent. And I also finished a Welsh novel called 20,000 Saints by David. I've just recently learned how to pronounce her name. I filmed my review, stay tuned. And I also finished a work of Indigenous fiction, an incredible short story cycle called The Night of the Living Res by Morgan Talty. So that's 3, but maybe that's all I finished last week. So that's 3. I better start counting on my fingers here. I don't know what, so I'm just going to guess at what I don't remember what I finished last week compared to the week before. So I've also recently finished incredible memoir, quite dense academic theoretical writing, but still quite a powerful memoir called A Memoir of My Brief Body by Billy Ray Belcourt. I believe that was the week before. And as quickly as I can. Oh, one of the last 9s was titled Queen Victoria's Mother, which was a biography of Queen Victoria's mother by Dulcie Ashdown. That was fabulous. I have finished Disoriental by Négar Djavadi, translated by Tina Kover, which didn't work for me quite as much as I expected it would, but was still a brilliant translation. I've lost track. I stopped counting on my fingers because my fingers are a little tipsy right now. Of course, I finished the latest Cormac McCarthy, The Passenger. As if I would, yeah, that's a joke. Sorry, Bernie. I read within the last 9. I'm just going to name 1 or 2 more, and then I'm going to see how far off the mark I was. I read have I finished any other for Skoden 2022? I don't think so, but just before Skoden started, I'd finished at least 1 fabulous work of Indigenous nonfiction. It was a memoir called Fire Dancer or Rain Dancer, and I can't remember the author, but it was fantastic. It was as good as anything I've read during Skoden. Oh, and I don't know if it's within the last 9, but I have somewhat recently finished Sands Hotel by Barb Howard. It's not called the Sands Hotel, is it? Sands Resort? Anyway, it was fabulous. I've just had an interview with her just go up on my channel a few days ago. So that, I don't know how many that is because, it's late, people, and, my brain wasn't working even before I started getting into the sauce tonight, but that's the best I can do. So the next prompt is 901 memories, 901 memories, and now I'm supposed to check. What are the last 9 books I've read? Let's see how abysmally I performed on this one. Let's see how many I got that were within the last 9. I did get 20,000 Saints by David, and I did get Valley of the Birdtail by Douglas Sanderson and Andrew Stobo Snyderman. So I got that without the complete authors. I did get Night of the Living Res by Morgan Talty. I missed Caprice by Ronald Firbank. I did get A History of My Brief Body by Billy Ray Belcourt. I did get Disoriental, which is 6 by Négar Djavadi, translated from the French by Tina Kover. I missed this quite fabulous collection of Nigerian queer stories, God's Children Are Little Broken Things by Arinze Ifeakandu. I did get Victoria's Mother. And then The Raindancers by Enole Bellegarde was actually the 10th book I finished. So the 9th book I finished was also a really impactful, fantastic read. Courting Saskatchewan by David Carpenter, my old English prof. A memoir about how he made Saskatoon his home. The next prompt is 901 favorites. Out of the 9, which one is your favorite? I think there's no question, even though there's quite a few of these books that are amazing, but hands down, the top read of those 9 would be Morgan Talty's short story cycle, Night of the Living Dead. I talked about it quite a bit in my last Friday reads, and I'm not going to say anything else here, but it was just a stunning debut short story cycle, a collection of short fiction. Oh my God. The next one is 901 pictures. Share the 9th non-bookish picture from your camera roll. Well, I take pictures on my iPad. This is my old iPad. I'm filming with my new iPad. And basically my answer for this prompt is I am so ridiculously bookish that I had to go back about 78 pictures to find a 9th most recent non-bookish picture. Like all I do is books, and all of everything that's on my iPad is screenshots for thumbnails or book covers to put in as GIFs for my videos, or any kind of illustration I use on my videos. Like I don't really do anything other than think about and photograph books. Yeah, I'm not a picture taker anymore. What the hell was it that I found? Ah, yes. So I found one that was a screenshot or a picture that I downloaded from the internet for an English lesson. I'm an ESL teacher, and I still have students back in Tokyo that I teach on Zoom. And one of the classes, up until very recently, was a newspaper article class. So we would read newspaper articles together, and it was about this weird kind of pop artist in the UK who doodled his whole house. And so here is a screenshot of him wearing clothes he has doodled, the sidewalk he has doodled, and all that stuff. And so that was for a news article that I taught a class of business people in Tokyo about a month or 2 ago. It was about the 78th picture on my camera roll, and only the 9th that was non-bookish, because books are my life. I'm a book maniac, what can you expect? Thank God Sandy didn't ask for the 10th most recent non-bookish picture, because I would have been blushing from ear to ear. Looks like I am. The next one is $901. What was the last book you purchased? And I purchased last night, I think, Claire Keegan's penultimate novella, Foster. I read it on ebook earlier this year. It's a strong contender for my book of the year. And there was some reason that I decided that now is the time to have a paper copy to proudly display on my shelves. And I just ordered it online last night. The next one is 901 miles. What is the farthest you've ever traveled? And have you ever read a book from that location? Well, this is pretty easy and predictable for me, but I lived in Japan for 13 years, and that is the farthest I've ever traveled from what is, once again, my home, Saskatchewan, Canada, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I don't know how many kilometers it is or whatever, but it's a 12 or 13 hour series of flights. And yes, I've read tons of Japanese literature. Enough said. The next one, 901 facts. Do you read nonfiction? Yes, I do. I prefer fiction, but I am getting more and more into nonfiction as I get older. What is one of your favorite nonfiction reads this year? There have been several, but I would say one of the strongest contenders for my top nonfiction read of the year, and it was brought back into my memory because I just posted recently a In Other Words video, and that was the biography of Fannie Lou Hamer. Walk With Me, a biography of Fannie Lou Hamer by Kate Clifford Larson. It was an incredibly powerful biography. I don't find most biographies powerful, but this is one that I was so inspired by her life, what she experienced, what she did, that it just cracked me open, and the biography expanded my heart and my vision of what one person can do in the world when they have that much righteous indignation about injustice. It was just profound. And I've just remembered why I decided to buy the copy of Foster. It was because that was also a book that I featured words from in the latest In Other Words video, so that's why. We're getting close to the end. The penultimate prompt is 901 subscribers, and Sandy is asking her subscribers, and I am definitely one of them, about one of their favorite books they have read this year. So I think she wanted that in a comment, but I will include it in the tag. And I am not going to get too far down into revealing what my book of the year is, because that's under embargo until I release my infamous Besties and Worsties video at the end of the year or early January. But I have not made any, I have not weighed the books that have really deeply affected me to figure out which one is going to be on top. But one that is definitely in the running is Louise Erdrich's latest offering, The Sentence. I loved it. Tuki, the protagonist, is someone that I still carry around inside me, and that is my definition of a transformational read. And I just loved the way, in a very chaotic, messy way, Louise Erdrich put everything that has been going on in the world in the last few years into this big beating heart of a novel. Yeah, just a fantastic, really personal read for me this year. And the last one, 901 Friends. Tag some friends. I'm going to tag 9 friends. Lindy of Lindy's Magpie Reads, a dear friend of mine. Let's see, who else didn't she tag? Heidi of My Reading Life. Sonia of An Enthusiastic Reader. I don't remember that Sonia does a whole bunch of tags, but this might be a fun one for you to try, Sonia. Greg of Supposedly Fun, of course. Doris of Aldi Books. I don't know if you're doing tags now that you're in China. Brian of Bookish, if you haven't been tagged already. Marilyn Maya Mendoza, cousin of Always Doing. Nambura of 100 on Books. Kieran of KD Books. I've lost track, so I have no idea whether that's 9 already. And Elizabeth of... And I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I've forgotten the pronunciation of the first word of your channel. Bookins and Books? Bookins and Books? I'm just terrible with pronunciation, but... I would love to see you do this tag as well. And I'm also tagging, if you're watching this video, I'm tagging you. Thanks for watching.